Hi, this is my Aunt Effie, and today I'm going to talk to you about a really cool, super old book that I ran across in our local library. It's called The Descent of Woman, and it is by Elaine Morgan. The book was published in 1972, and this is a picture of Elaine. See if I can get that. Okay. So 1972, oh my word, isn't that incredible? So in 1972, I was 15 years old. Roe v. Wade was going to be passed in less than a year. And my mother's biggest concern at that time was that I was going to think too much of myself. So there was a whole lot of energy put into trying to make sure that I didn't. It was a really strange time to be alive. And then this happened. Now, I didn't see this book when I was 15 years old, but I loved anthropology. I still love anthropology. But in those days, it was very unusual for a woman to be able to publish anything. Women had to publish under a male name so that the publishers didn't even know they were women. So, kudos to the publishers, Stein and Max, because 1972, and she has her name on this book. So it's quite amazing and quite exciting to find it. So I wasn't out there reading anthropology when I was young, but I was busy fighting with my mother about whether or not I was going to have to take home ec, or whether or not I had to wear a padded bra instead of no bra, because these were the kinds of struggles we were having at the time. So now you get an idea of the time frame when this book came out, right on the cusp of things changing. And here we are with Elaine Morgan, The Descent of Woman. This book is absolutely hilarious. It is so much fun. It's about the anthropological descent of human society, the human species, but it is all done through the lens of the female instead of the male, which is what is common. The one funny point is whenever the female developed something that couldn't be understood, and you couldn't answer the question, oh, what's this for? What are these for? And I'm talking about boobs and around buttocks. Then our learned male anthropological people said, oh, that was developed to attract males. Well, Elaine says that that's not true. It was not developed to attract males. Males are attracted to it because those are feminine traits. The traits were not developed over many, many, many years in order to attract males. No, they just like it because that's how females look. So let's read a little bit, okay? I'm going to read, well, first I want to tell you, I didn't get to read the whole book. I ran out of time, and the library said, you've checked this out 3 times and you can't check it out anymore. So I am hoping that I can get back to it, and I have not. Now, the first thing I want to read to you is on page 3. Oh, I need my glasses. Paragraph 2, a very high proportion of the thinking on these topics is anthrocentric, which is male-centered, in the same way as pre-Copernican thinking was geocentric. It's just as hard for a man to break the habit of thinking of himself as central to the species as it was to break the habit of thinking of himself as central to the universe. He sees himself quite unconsciously as the main line of evolution, with the female satellite revolving around him, as the moon revolves around the earth. This not only causes him to overlook valuable clues to our ancestry, but sometimes leads him into making statements that are errant and demonstrable nonsense. So that was pretty funny. And then I have another little reading I want to give to you on page 73. And I have to say that I don't know if you've been around a long time like I have. This book, it smells like an old book. It smells like a paper book. And that's kind of nice. They don't make paper out of the same things anymore. Anyway, they don't smell the same as they used to. So that's another delightful thing about this book. So this is, I'm going to read a few paragraphs for you. So at this point, we are approaching one of the foggiest terrains in the whole field of behavioral evolution, the problem of female sexual response. It is now, as Jane Austen remarked about something quite different, a fact universally acknowledged that women can and do experience orgasm. Obviously, there must be something very peculiar indeed about this physiological process, or else it would not be necessary to begin with such a statement as that. No one feels it necessary to insist, quote, every reputable biologist nowadays admits that women yawn, unquote, or that, quote, it can no longer be denied that women as well as men are capable of shivering, unquote. There have, however, been societies and periods in which the fact of the female response was by no means universally acknowledged. Women went to their bridal beds knowing little or nothing of what to expect and were given vague warnings about the experience waiting for them. It would be repugnant, but must be endured. Men with the highest medical qualifications pontificated on the very concept of female orgasm was the fantasy of depraved minds and beyond belief. Havelock Ellis quotes Acton, A-C-T-O-N, and a leading English authority of the day, who condemned the suggestion that women have sexual feelings as a vile aspersion. So I had so much fun with this book. But, I didn't get to finish it, and I hope very much to be able to get back to it another day. So this is my Aunt Effie with another old book. Let me know if you've read it. Have you ever heard of Elaine Morgan? She's an anthropologist that in the early 70s was living in Wales. So how about, have you ever read about or met another amusing anthropologist like she is? Well, I'll say goodbye for now. This is my Aunt Effie saying, gosh, I hope you're reading something good. I am.